So one thing that I've been thinking about with Fire Emblem Heroes in general is there's a couple of things that I will note that wanted to be changed. They've addressed certain things without me having to say anything, like the 4-star seasonals being locked to specific 5 stars, or having that no real good way to get the seasonal units outside of the seasonal banners. But I do think that there are definitely more um, things to add on. So the picture that actually for my video is what I ended my spark with on the new hero banner for Binding Blade with Ascended Idun, Nime, Hugh, and Kath. And I will actually say that that increased to 5.25%. I know that's probably not the highest anyone has ever gotten on one of those banners. I do know that mythic banners, legendary banners, have actually been worse for some people just because of the percentage, the aspect of not only having a smaller 5-star pool, but it actually feels worse when you have start at 8% and have to go until like 13, 13 and a half, 12 and a half. So I do think one thing that I do think is important is a transferable rate. So new banners, seasonal banners, legendary banners, and mythic banners are all would all be considered for a transferable rate. So if you leave a banner, like the banner ends with a percentage that's not at what you had originally, you take it takes what was the original percentage. So in the case of a mythic banner or a legendary banner where you have an 8% pull rate for 5 stars and you end the banner with a 10%, the next legendary banner or next mythic banner would start at 9% instead of 8%, half of what your rate was. Same thing with any kind of new or seasonal banners. If you ended with like a 5.5, you'd start at, let's see, I believe that would be 4.25%. The idea is that if, especially like in the case of that one, I pulled mostly 4-star specials. I did manage to pull a 4-star Kath, a 2 Iras, and a Lin in the 4-star special pool. But it does always feel a little bit unfortunate to leave a banner with that big of a pity rate. And I understand also that a lot of games are worse. The second thing that I kind of would recommend is reducing the cost for certain refines. Like any non-preferred weapon is currently fine as is, the 500 coins and the 50 stones, especially since you do actively gain dues for it. But having all of the first year and second year refines, the ones that are like preferred weapons that are still 200 divine due in addition to the 500 coins, makes it a lot harder to actively try and push for that. My personal point of view on this one is if the skill that you gain through the refine is actually a currently gainable skill, and easily gainable would actually be a better way of saying it. So like for example, Hana has Swift Sparrow 2 as a refine bonus off of her katana. That is carried by not only a lot of characters, but I'm pretty sure a lot of there's a good amount of characters that actually have it as a that are easily findable in the Grail shop. Same thing with Sophia and her Eternal Tome with the what I believe it was. I think it was Warding Stance 2. Again, you can gain that through several other units. I think Benny has it. I'm pretty sure that the Flame Emperor has that, and that's also a Grail unit. So possibly reducing the cost of those to maybe 100 Divine Dew, or maybe even 50 Divine Dew. Or what there could also be is a different route that maybe has a little bit more of a cost. Like for Hana, it's specifically Surge Sparrow instead of Swift Sparrow. So you can go one way to get the lower cost one for 100, or you can stick with a 200 to get Surge Sparrow. Again, this would be more of a question of you're still able to get the refine if you already got the refine for the original. And speaking on the topic of preferred weapon refines, it is actually very impressive that all of the first year 3 to 4 star healers have no preferred weapons whatsoever. So that includes Sarah, Sakura, Riss, Clarine, Priscilla, Lucius. Let's see if I can remember anything specific other than those. Yeah, okay, so that's pretty much what it was. It ended up being a lot fewer, but it's the fact that these are units that have been in the game for 5 plus years, and they have, as outside of Sarah and Sakura, they have no preferred weapons, no alternate versions of themselves, and no resplendence, which I don't know if I find it very unfair, very unbalanced, or just IS being IS. But next up would be to add more alternate versions. I will actually put a different video for this, but there are, out of a total of the total number of units that are 3 to 4 star within the first year pool, so first year 3 to 4 stars, 63 of them have no alts or resplendence, compared to year 4, which has 14. And most likely we're coming up to the point where I can include Three Houses characters, but they didn't appear until about year 3 or 4. So again, it's more just the units that came first. So that'll actually be a separate video for whatever it is that is. But my main thing always came from, why is there no true daily pull? And that comes from comparing it to the game Azur Lane. I will not fully compare them because I know they are very different games. But what Azur Lane has is a pseudo free pull system, in that the pulls can actually be released cheap, but the biggest thing is that you can actively save points while still remaining free to play. So I believe what it is you get 3 cubes three free cubes every single day, provided that you complete at least one hard mode stage and 3 victories. You can also get 1 cube if you build 1 ship that day. So in total, 2 to 3 cubes every single day. The month gives you a total of 30 cubes. So there's a 3 on the first week, 6 on the second week, 9 on the third week, and then the last 12 on the last week. So let's see. Well, yeah, that is 30 cubes for an entire month. Each week gives you another 12 cubes. So that, I think I added everything up, including maybe like some bonuses that they gave. That's just basic. So let's say that you just do the three summon cubes every week. No summons, just complete other missions. So you get 3 every single day. So 3 times 7, 21. Times another 4, that gives you 84. Then you have 12 times 4, 48. 30 from the month. 2, carry the 1. $162 cubes every single month. And that can add up, especially since they've introduced the aspect of the ultra rare and the pity breaker. Now, I've missed a lot of the pity breakers. I think I've only done one so far, and that was for the I think it was either Iowa. I think it was Iowa, the bunny girl one. But it's interesting how they offer such a difference in terms of free to play value. Whereas in my personal experience going through Heroes, this game is very stingy with its give outs. So for every single banner bonus, you get 20 orbs within 14 days. Within, I think it's maybe every single week, you maybe get one orb for completing the mission. You get one orb for completing both Resonant Battles and Arena. There's various levels of orbs scattered around, but a free to play account, from what I see, does not necessarily have the ability to be as, I won't say it's the ability to be as competitive, because there are plenty of units that they've given away that are relatively competitive in the meta, but it's definitely a very pay to play focus, with the fact that also a lot of their pull rates have actually been very unforgiving. Once again, I'm going to point myself back to the new banner where I went up to 5.25 and still didn't get any 5 stars after that. So that's what I ended the banner with. But one of the things that I think of would be to use the crests and badges instead. So, or gems actually. Gems, crests, badges, the stuff that either you use to promote your heroes or the stuff that you use to level them up. I currently have a very, very, very big stock of most of these. So what they could try to do is to remove all of the first year 3 to 4 stars, as well as remove all the first year 4-star specials, because that also is another concern of mine, that the 4-star special pool is actually getting a little bit too bloated for what it's worth, and add them into a separate pool. And this pool could be accessed once per day. You would put in a certain amount of gems, let's say 500 gems for one pull. You'd only be able to do this once per day. And what this would be is, it would actually have it would have a higher pull rate for 3 stars, because once again, you are looking towards getting a free unit every day. And this unit would again be from the first year pool. So everything that was released from February 2nd of 2017 to, I believe it was, I'll go ahead and say February 9th, 2018. So a lot of units that are currently placed in the 3-star, 4-star, as well as the 4-star special pool. So this would actually have no chance of pulling a 5-star specifically, but it would have I'm going to go ahead and suggest maybe 40% each to pull a 4-star or 5-star. No, actually, sorry, 4-star or 3-star. So that's 80% right there. You then have a 10% chance of pulling a 4-star special, and then the remaining 10% would be a 2-star. Now, why 2-star? Because it's an underused subject. There are several units, not many of units, but the units that you get through the daily maps. So I think Donal, Lissa, Riss, Stall, Sully, I think, are all part of it. But basically, it's you complete the map, and you get a 1-star or a 2-star. And I actually will admit, I'm very, very interested to say why they have not used 1 and 2 stars yet. But that's going to be it for me. The next video that I'm going to make on Fire Emblem Heroes is actually covering the topic that I wanted to talk about, the fact that there are a lot of units that have no alts. So thank you very much for listening to me ramble on, and I will see you in the next video.